Hey, welcome. Uh, this is my first time trying to do this by myself. You may recognize me. I do some videos and play on my brother's Agility Snips channel. But my brother is currently out of the country. The Agility and Agility Snips is for his agility training that he does. And he's currently proud of him for being off in Europe representing the US in the World Championships. But in the meantime, I decided, why don't I just continue, do my own video, play a game that I love, Fields of Fire, but take the Bulge campaign on a little bit of a tour, give people a glimpse at that, and at the same time give them a glimpse of the Tabletop Simulator mod changes that were made for Bulge, and also maybe just Tabletop Simulator mod in general. So with that, I'm just going to jump right in to Bulge. We're letting the game set up. Take a peek down here. Looks like we got everything looking good here. Now, I'm going to give a brief tour of a little bit of this first mission. And interestingly enough, Battle of the Bulge, or the Bulge campaign, the first mission is an offensive mission for the US. But it quickly changes after that. We get counterattacked. The counterattack begins, and we end up on the defensive for a while until we get to turn the tables. But I'm going to walk through a couple of little key nuances of this. Then I'm going to pause, get set up, and then we'll go from there. So first of all, you'll notice we have face down on row one, and then we know this is open, but we also know we have barbed wire entanglement as well as minefields here. We are not allowed to move from row two, where this open field, up into row three until we breach the entanglement. And the way to breach the entanglement is using our engineers. Our engineers have, or actually using Bangalore torpedoes, primarily going to try to be used with the engineers. That's an attachment we get. Our platoon HQ, our CO, and not the CO, the XO, and the first sergeant can also use those Bangalore torpedoes. But I'm going to try to get the engineers to do it. The engineers are able to move onto these. In fact, they can attempt to infiltrate onto these cards. If they successfully infiltrate on the minefield, we don't draw three, we draw one. If we draw one and it's not a mine explosion on the poor engineers, then they have marked the path through the minefields, and we remove the mine marker. Likewise, they are able to place, just like a demolition charge, they can place their Bangalore torpedoes. Well, I take that back. I believe if they're not under fire, they are able to place the Bangalore torpedoes like a demolition charge. They're also able to throw their Bangalore torpedoes, but I believe that's just, when we get there, we'll verify, but I believe it's just one draw. Throw it at them and hope and pray. Now we get 4 Bangalore torpedoes, a total of 2 counters with 2 on. You notice the 2 on the Bangalore torpedo right there. So on the front side, we have 1. So they start out with 2. These rifle grenades are actually supposed to be flipped over. We also get a spare battalion TACnet radio, these SCR 300s. That can be assigned to a staff or platoon and allows it to be in touch even when undercover or out of line of sight with the CO, so they can be activated. So ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide, I'm going to give that to the platoon HQ, who I expect to be the primary leader of this attack. We do get in as part of this scenario, and as part of every scenario, you know, we have our normal company, veteran heavy to start with. We've been through a lot since Normandy. So veteran staff, we have runners that are just automatically part of our CO. We have veteran mortar staff, veteran machine gun team, bazooka team. I will assign those to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd platoon. We also have, in every mission, we get an artillery FO and a mortar FO who are also veteran. We also get, in this scenario, an engineering squad. And obviously, as I mentioned before, that engineering squad will be carrying forth the torpedoes and trying to get us past row 2, at least from one card, so we can expand. So what are we trying to do in this mission? It's an offensive mission. Oops, let me get back to the mission. So, well, one interesting difference between this and some other scenarios. These are face down. Normally, you get to reveal those types of cards when you are adjacent to them in the staging area, but in this case, that is not how it works. You reveal row 1 terrain when you move onto the card. And then we reveal row 3 terrain, so up here, when we get line of sight vision. So once we get on a card, we could, for instance, flip this card, and then we would have line of sight here, here, and here. Oh, no, actually just here and here. So we could see through there and through there. So we can reveal those cards. So it'll take a little bit of time for the map to reveal itself. We do know this is forest type terrain. So very specifically, forest hill, dense forest, scrub forest are the types of terrain. These are Bulge specific terrain. In Bulge, hills are on the card. So these are level 1. If we turn over a hill, it'll actually show a level 2 hill. Any other key things to explain in terms of missions and rules? The wire entanglement, I think I mentioned, can't move from 2 to 3 until we breach. Got the Bangalore torpedoes. We do have some first initial difficulty reaching for artillery and regimental cannon. So we gotta, for the very first attempt, we gotta reduce our draws by 2. We'll draw less, but that's only on the first attempt. There are some rules in the overall mission around number 1, buildings. So church, farm, and villages automatically have a strong building, an upper story, and a cellar. Those will automatically get placed on the cards. Those are the only types of cover markers other than field fortifications that can go on those cards. Basically, cellars you can go down into, but you can't spot from them. You have no volume of fire. They're kind of like a deep bunker. If you played the Vietnam side scenarios, right? Can't fire out of them, can't spot, can't fire, do a grenade attack, and so forth. Let's see. We do get these regimental cannons. If we have a failed attempt to get the artillery, or if the artillery FO or the CO attempt to call the 5th or 12th, or 15th or 12th, right now we just have the 15th in this one, artillery, and fail, they can make an optional call to the regimental cannon, and they get a free call. So those are backup. And I think those are the key things. Mortars can't fire from a dense forest. So with that, I'm going to pause the video, get the counter set up, and actually, real quickly, what's our objective? We are going to have to place, and I will most likely just place a primary objective and a secondary objective on those cards. I don't know what they are, so it's kind of all a random guess. But we ultimately have to take the primary and secondary objective up there on row 3, meaning we got to get through row 2, ultimately. We got 3 attempts to do it. The first 2 attempts are during the day. The last attempt is at night. So with that, I am going to pause, get the map set up and counter set up, and then I'll walk you through what I did, and we will return and get started. All right, I think I've got it. So here's what we got. First of all, let's talk about up here. I've got the secondary objective. I mentioned this, I think, before I set up, but I just placed secondary. I don't know what the terrain is, so I've just decided secondary, primary, attack position through here. First platoon is in that row. First platoon is my most veteran. The HQ is veteran. 2 of the squads are veteran. I did already take the 3rd squad. I'm sorry, yeah, the 3rd squad, and I pulled 1 lat out of it as an assault team to move forward. Gave it some smoke. Second platoon is over here on the right, and a little bit less. I'm questioning myself if I like this, whether I should swap these. So I'm just going to stick with it. But I've got the second platoon over here. Again, took my non-veteran, the line. These guys are both vets, so I took the line, pulled off a lat team to move forward. We've got a light machine gun on this group, along with an anti-tank bazooka team, basically. Same here. Here we only have the bazooka team. We did give the mortar, though, to the 3rd. It's attached to the 3rd. The artillery is attached to the 3rd. The mortar is attached to the 2nd. the engineers are attached to the first. The engineer has Bangalore torpedoes. The first platoon HQ also has them. My thinking is hopefully not to let them use them, but to carry them and then allow the engineers to take them. So you'll notice here if we look. Now, first of all, one of the other rules is you randomly draw for skills to start the mission, to start the campaign. So first has auto cover, which is kind of nice. Got a +1 to a draw, and then auto infiltrate were the randomly drawn ones. I've given a CO TACnet and a battalion TACnet, the SCR 300 to the CO. They get those. Everybody else, all the other leaders have got CO TACnets. The first, who is the one leading the attack, also has the spare battalion TACnet. So he is able to communicate with the CO as long as those radios are active, not broken. And the reason for giving it to the first, he's veteran, but also he's leading the charge. So as he gets out of range, the idea was to keep him in communication. All of the pyro has got is ceasefire. So that this is all we have is a green star, a red star, green smoke, red smoke. So I gave the aerials to the CO and the XO. The first sergeant carries just a green canister, and so does the first platoon. Gave the rifle grenades to different squads and gave some white phosphorus smoke also to the first squads. Notice each of these assault teams have been given smoke. Over here on the third platoon where we pulled a lad out of the second and the third, one of these has white phosphorus. So with that, I believe we are ready to go. I'm sure I will think of something that I forgot to share, but I know the mod does it, but I'm going to shuffle and I am going to draw for the CO. So we are no contact. He is a veteran. So that is +2 to that draw. So he starts with 6. Now he is a veteran, so he's able to save up to 9. I am going to try to get a bank of commands built up. So the reality is I am going to use my commands. I can spend 6. I am going to activate everybody. And I have no intention of using them all. But we have some veteran troops. The third platoon, I do plan to have them do something. So I just used 5. And we will save the last one. So first platoon. Now, does this... You don't have to go in order of first, second, and third. So, I don't believe. Let me pause. I'm going to verify. The rules are pretty clear that when we are working through this phase, it's the top left of this rule book. Platoon, HQ, and CO staff impulse. These are the activated ones. Select one, draw the action, and go. So you can do it in the order you want, and you can mix and match COs and platoon HQs. Now, when we get down to the initiative segment for the non-activated, which is not the case here, you definitely go CO, then the platoons in whatever order, then the staff. But the platoons go before the staff. So it's interesting. Probably knew that at one point, but what I'm going to do is I'm curious what the third gets, because the third has got 2, and if I have to waste a command, I may simply... because he's green, he can save the least amount. So the lines can save 6, and all of my veterans can save 9. So I'm drawing for the third first. So he draws 3. He's green, and so there's a -1, but he also is a +1 because there is no contact. So it is basically he gets 3. So I am going to have him, let me think here. If I push up to this card, I can see to here. I am going to push here, I believe, and here, because I can see to there, and I can see to there, and he can see there and to there. So this will allow me to see both. So I'm going to take this first one, move him here, which allows me to reveal this terrain. So that is dense forest. He is marked exposed. He now has line of sight here, and he has line of sight here. Remember, he actually has line of sight here, but we reveal when we move on them. So this is a hill. Notice the 2 on that. So we have a hill back there as our primary objective. That's interesting. All right. So that was 1, and we are stopping. I'm now going to draw for the second 2. So he is line. So he gets +1 for the no contact. So he has 3. He is going to push this guy up to here, which reveals this terrain card. So that is a scrub forest. Not very good cover. This is great cover, but he's exposed. Now he can see here, which is the reason I did this. I wanted to get this all revealed. And he can reveal here. All right, so we got, look at that. I picked the hills. Kind of appropriate. Sometimes this game just thematically plays out perfectly. Kind of amazing. So, he spent 1, and that's it. All right, first platoon, who intends to do nothing. So he gets 4. He's a veteran, so 5. And 6 because of no contact. So he's going to just bank 6. The XO is also a veteran, is going to bank 6. The first sergeant, also a veteran, is going to bank 4. So now I will do general initiative. There is no other initiative, so we have 3. That is actually awesome. This dense forest is good cover. I'm going to look for cover in the dense forest. So, drawn 3. 1, 2, 3. I do like to see all those contacts disappear, but he failed. I'm going to look for cover over here as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he found cover. I am also going to have him pop his smoke. The beauty of the 3. Could have had him, but effectively I have now, I mean, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other, right? He's got a +3, -2, so he's at a +1 total. Right here, he's got a +1. Now he's got a +4 effectively. So this guy's a little bit better off, but he would have been a lot better off. So I tried to even it out. That was the thinking. I don't know if it's good thinking or bad thinking. So with that, we're done. This is the first turn, always flies pretty quick because there's no enemy. There's no capture. There's no retreat. There's no vehicles. There's no fire missions. We're going straight to potential contacts. So we have 2 cards, both A's. Which one first? So we're doing this one first. Now, that is automatic because if you look, we're at no contact. A is automatic. So let's draw a card. That is a 6. So on the 10 is a 6. So German force packages or contact packages, PCA row 1, a 6 is number 2, which is, of course, incoming. Yuck. So that's actually the biggest bummer because the -1, a little bit less help. But then again, the smoke is useless with that. So we have an incoming. And it was a -3, I believe it said. Yep. -3 incoming. We have a spotter in a bunker. 3 missions total, but this was one of them. So he's going to ultimately have 2 more fire missions. Let's see. 2 more artillery missions. We've got an artillery spotter. I think it said in a trench. Nope, in a bunker. So he's in a bunker. Now, the thing about a bunker is there's limited firing range, but they don't have limited line of sight, so he'll be able to see. So the question is, where does he go? Now, this placement in this is a little bit odd as well. First of all, one thing to notice on the 3.9 package placement there, enemies placed on row 3 can be placed on cards that already have other enemy units, so that is allowed. Very specifically, we're told to place this spotter on row 3. Notice over on the German force packages, he's not spotted, but place spotter on row 3. So, where is he? This is the left, or this is row 1, or column 1, I'm sorry, column 1. So we are going to draw a 1 through a 5, which is a 4. That is right front. Now, one thing I want to point out, notice the little asterisk next to left front. You can't place, row 2 doesn't expand, right? So we can expand, according to the map, around row 3. Get back to the map. We can expand around row 3. Row 2 would not expand, so we would have had to have redrawn. But we drew a 4, which was right front, meaning he's up here on this forest hill. I don't believe there's a specific rule about where the bunker direction. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place the bunker pointing. Let's just make a quick peek and see. Yeah, I am just placing the arc of a bunker towards the triggering unit is just what I'm going to do. There's nothing that says what it's supposed to be, but it makes sense to me that it's just the bunker arc is that way. Now, this is an unspotted card. Well, it's not mine. Helps to pick the right thing. So this is unspotted right now. He doesn't have a PDF because we got our incoming here. Now, we are now at contact because of this lovely PDF, meaning we're drawing 7 cards for this A. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 7. So, we did get contact. So, it's the same thing. It's drawing on row 1. We got a 5, which I believe is going to be incoming again. 5 is incoming. You guys both walked right into, and this smoke is useless, by the way. So both of these guys. Well, we know this is going to be the artillery spotter. In fact, I don't have another spotter unless it doesn't say artillery. So in theory, I could use a mortar spotter. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but let's see. Fire missions. Where in the world is that? What am I missing? Artillery. Fire mission of 2. It's going to be in a bunker, unspotted. Now, where is he placed? That is out of 5. That is a 4. He is also right front, but he cannot go this way. This is what I was talking about. The right front, we can't expand row 2. So we got to draw again. That's a 2, which is direct front. So he is going to be here in the forest. So that guy's in the forest. These each have 2 fire missions left. think the way, oops, I grabbed the wrong thing. I believe the way this works, there can only be one artillery concentration for the Germans. So it's on the last one. So we have artillery concentration target here. So now what's interesting about that is that means, right, this guy, there's not an artillery, there's an artillery target. So that's what they're going to try to hit first. This guy will aim here again. That'll be his primary target first. But this one will, if there was a better target, he might change ultimately. So, all right. So I believe that is it. Now we're now at engaged. And these contact markers can go back into the bag. Oh, he is unspotted as well. Wow. All right. Interesting start. So we have no pinned recovery. We go straight to the combat effects. So let's just see what happens. We got a -3, and then -5, -6, +3. So he's at a -3. Ooh, pinned. It's actually about as good a result as I can hope for. And then over here, -3, -4, -6, +2. So he's a -4. Well, that's pretty funny. I got one of the better cards and then one of the worst cards. So he got hit. He is line. So he becomes a litter team. Again, not the best, not the worst. So he is pinned as well. All right. And that's it. Turn 1 is done. We move on to the cleanup phase. I'm going to clean up. We are at about the 30-minute mark. So I think we can actually knock out probably one more turn, and then we'll stop this video and pick it up on another video. So just thinking about this, this guy will, if we look at what the enemy will do, a good order with fire missions will attempt to call fire on a card. Let's see. They're going to, it's up here on the spotter activity. So, oh my gosh, I had it. Target marker. So, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct that there's only one target marker for the Germans. If that's wrong, somebody please put it in the comments. But I believe, like in the physical game, there's one target marker counter. So there's only one out there. So the rightmost spotter will definitely be still continuing to fire there at that litter team. The other one, though, might decide to fire at another card. So he could leave this guy alone. And if we place somebody here, he could choose that. It could be based on the most steps. There's not going to be a vehicle, but most steps, or randomly. So I am going to probably try to expose these, especially now that we have engaged, although there's no guarantee, by the way, we'll be engaged. I'm taking a little bit of a guess because that requires that they successfully drop their fire missions. One of the things, actually an interesting question, in fact, now that I think about it, I'm going to ask this question on Board Game Geek. Because we start with mines, feels like this game might just start with contact. This game may not even have it, so I may have given an extra command. You know, I wonder if that's... The mines do not affect the mission level activity. Start at no contact. So, all right. The mines themselves don't affect, and I'm assuming it doesn't say that just for turn 1. It says they don't affect the activity. So, I had to guess it's because it was a known minefield, so they kind of started the whole campaign. We don't have, nobody's out there, but we know there's a minefield. Trying to give it some potential context. All right, so let's draw first for an HQ event. There is none. CO. Woo! 6. We now have contact, but he is veteran, so that's 7. So he's up to 8 now. Third platoon is going to want to move somebody. I'm going to give, well, third platoon can't save too many. I think I'm not going to activate third platoon. He just wants to get one guy up. I need to let this fire settle down before I go thinking about moving too many on those cards. I am going to activate the second platoon because he has room. He can get 6 more and save them. We know the first platoon is going to move a unit and can save 9, so I'm going to activate him, and I'm going to activate the first sergeant. So that was 3. 1, 2, 3. But that's it. That's all I'm going to do. So let's start with the first platoon. So he is a veteran, +1. All right, so he only gets 3. He has 9. All he wants to do is move this unit here. Now, this unit might come under fire from that guy. But that's it. We're saving 8. All right. Second platoon. Oof. He gets 1. He gets minus. Well, yeah. Not no con. He only gets 1, though. So, golly. That's pretty bad. Glad to get that out, though, for the hits. The, oops. So, second platoon, he's just going to save those. We know they're going to try to fire here some more. First sergeant. So he is a veteran. So he gets +1. So that's 5. So he's 9. He literally can save all 9. And he's going to do that. Yep. Now, the third platoon. So that's 2. -1 because of he's green, so he gets 1. So he's up to 3. He is going to tell this guy to move here. We're going to get assault teams on both of these cards. Oh, we get to reveal. So that is a forest. Here we have a hill. Good to know. We may decide to shift a spotter and maybe even mortar fire. Definitely a spotter, I think, up there. What I'm thinking is I may want to have a spotter here, maybe the mortar here. So I may just move the artillery spotter over here and move the mortar spotter. And what I'm thinking is this guy we can get here, we can get here. This mortar can get up here, can get over here on the secondary objective. And then this mortar section being here could get, and he's allowed, yeah, it's a forest. They're not allowed to fire in dense forest. So, all right, so interesting. So now we know the terrain. At least we don't know what expands, but so he is there, and the XO just gets 1. He's not going to do anything. General initiative. 1. Arg. That's annoying. Well, this is my primary route of attack. I believe I am going to... Now the question is, do I drop the smoke? We know incoming is probable, or there's a high chance of incoming, which smoke is useless against. I'm going to pop the smoke. I'm going to pop the smoke. Take a chance that it's a different type of... It's a total guess, right? I don't know what's going to happen here. In fact, we may have no contact. All right. Enemy HQ. None. So now we've got enemy activity checks. So we got 2 of them. Within the TTS mod, you can place enemy activity check markers. And then there is a hotkey 3, or numpad 3, which tells you how many are left. Little, not very critical with 2. I will tell you on some scenarios, Naktung River, I found it, Vietnam, it gets so chaotic, it's almost impossible to remember. So these can become invaluable. You can flip them over. But we have 2. So let's see which one first. So the second one. So this guy is going to try to go at the artillery target. So he is going to draw, what did it say they do? 3? Spotters draw 2 cards for their second and third, but he's going at a target marker. That's 3. So 1, 2, 3. So he did succeed. You know, there's this good and bad, right? He just used another. Got 1 artillery mission left. But we've also got incoming. The lat team, I'm just hoping he can sit there and take it. All right, so now we're going to check for this guy. Now, he does not have a target marker, and he's got pinned, or he's got units, same distance, same number of steps. So it's just random. So left is 1, right is 2. Left is 1, so going at our new guy, of course. And he gets 2 draws. So 1, 2, and that failed. So nothing in terms of what they're going to do there. So that's it for the enemy activity check. All right. No capture. There is no retreat. My lat team is pinned. Fire mission update. We do have something there. This goes away, and this goes away, but this flips. And we still have fire coming down on that card. Now, we have the ability now to start to try to spot, which is good. Don't really want to get much up there because they can lay down the fire. So we may try to let these... such a slow move. Slog. All right. Potential contacts. We got 2. So we're drawn. Second one. So this is engaged. Oh, no, it's not engaged. Take that back. We're back to contact because we only have 1 volume of fire. Again, I'm assuming these mines do not count. So that is 7 draws here for A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whew. Nothing on the hill. That's actually awesome. All right. This guy is also 7 draws. 1, 2. So we have contact. 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're reshuffling. So what is it? A 10. So it is not. See, I was right when I laid down the smoke. We did not get that fire. That is number 5, a pillbox. So a pillbox, it's an HMG in a pillbox. Place them on row 3. Have a pillbox. By the way, the pillboxes are, I think it's a special reinforced pill, but this campaign uses pillboxes with a rating of 5. So these are the pillboxes that we use. It's an HMG. I have to deal with this guy. Now, he is, well, we got to figure out where he goes. So he either is going to be here or here, right? Because the contact is here. We can't expand. Oh, no, he can be up here too. So he can be left because we can expand there. So he can be here, here, or here. All right, so we're drawing a 5, which it's a 1. I think that's left front. Yep. Column 2. Contact column 2. 1 is still left front, but we're doing, it's on a 3. You know, I think I did this wrong, didn't I? I think I did that wrong. We're just moving forward. It happens in this game. So this guy was contacted. He's got fire coming from this machine gun. Left front. So we are going to expand the row 3, and it is a forest up there. Pillbox is in that direction. Now, short tells us the HM. So notice down below the German force packages, the LMGs and A volume of fire squad start with 6 ammo. HMGs is unlimited. There's no limit to its ammo. So what that means is we got to deal with it. And I say that it's in a pillbox. It's only firing here, that card and this card, our attack position. So it actually won't affect our attack position, but it makes this card and this card untenable. So we may not have to deal with it. We'll make a decision. All right. So that's it for potential contact. Oops, no, it's not. I've got to do 2 more things. 3 more things. First of all, this is unspotted. I am almost positive. HMG not spotted. This also has a volume of fire, or a PDF, I mean. Oh, by the way, another rule. Let's see. I believe, let me see. I am almost positive fire through that open terrain. Oh yeah, notice at the below the map diagram, very bottom, do not remove row 2 PCA markers that the enemy shoot through. This is an exception. So again, even though they're firing through here, we don't get rid of that. And this is going to be automatic fire. So I needed these reversed. Oh well. Oh well, I couldn't have. Well, I guess I could have reversed them. So that's it. Contact. No pin. Well, yeah, there is pinned recovery. This guy is no longer pinned since he is not under fire anymore. So now we will resolve. So right here we have -1, -3, +2. So it's a -1 total. So -1, that is a hit. He is paralyzed and pinned. All right. And then over here we have -3, -4, but now +3. So it's a -1, which is a miss. Wow. All right. So now we got a litter team under a volume of fire. So he will probably retreat. So what we may do is we may get a unit. I may get a unit moved up here. In fact, I may. It's a very interesting decision. Very, very interesting decision coming up. All right. That is it. Those are the key things. There's no ammo usage anywhere because the HMG is unlimited. So down to the cleanup phase, we're going to clean it up. We are on game turn 3, but at about the 45-minute mark. So I'm going to stop this recording and we will pick this up on turn 3. Hopefully this has been fun. I know I'm enjoying it.